So while we wait to see if there are any other questions, I have another one that I always, as a logical, computational logician myself, I am very often very centered on questions of dealing with some of the issues that you mentioned during the talk, which are expressivity, computational complexity. And when I see these solutions, these very successful solutions that combine both approaches, I often, my mind immediately goes to the fact that computational complexity is very, very hard. It gives you a very crisp answer to this. You cannot go beyond this unless, you know, P equals NP. So this, another open-ended question, how do you see the two maybe informing each other or helping each other find solutions that the other wouldn't with tools that they have at their availability?
Yes, that's a great question. One of the reasons why we started to investigate NP-complete problems was exactly the point that you are making here, Gerardo. When we are trying to represent common sense reasoning, we have a combinatorial explosion in terms of the number of possibilities, and common sense reasoning is a very tough area, perhaps because it's highly associated with the complexities and degrees of freedom that we have when you are trying to represent the knowledge of an agent. So computational complexity is still, well, of course, it's a huge issue here to confront when you are representing knowledge. But what we try to do, and what we try to do in our approach, okay, let's take a small fragment of a logic that we know this is decidable, and this in terms of complexity, okay, it's not going to take forever for us to learn to reason about this particular logic, this particular inference role. So what we take is a very humble approach, and we try to be compositional. Okay, let's start from first principles, from a very limited universe. Let's go for soundness, not completeness, because it's impossible to go for completeness. And let's go to a limited universe where we can frame a particular problem. Let's say, let's frame the muddy children problem here. Okay, you think, wow, this is a childish thing. No, no, no. But these problems offer you so many challenges when you're trying to build a system that can solve this problem, that you understand the complexity of reasoning and the complexity of building systems that can learn to reason. And that's a hugely important problem. And the question is very well posed. So that's the approach that we suggest from experience is, okay, take a very small logic fragment and compose the logical fragments as you build the system, and you build systems that are more and more complex. That's the approach that we suggest. Yeah,
that's a great way of seeing it. I hadn't considered it's kind of like thinking of rebooting and starting again and saying, okay, we have the problems, we identified the problems, like you say, that are very challenging in a very specific way, and see if dealing with them in a different way, we can get around maybe the constraints that we maybe auto-imposed by saying, okay, let's use first order logic or this fragment. And maybe in this way we can combine the strengths of both, because, you know, like I was saying, computational logic is very good at finding fragments that are tractable and decidable and very good computationally. But the connectionist approach is very good at saying, okay, let's actually find a solution that will work very well, that we can parallelize and that kind of thing. So I'm very hopeful that this path will lead to some very good success stories. And like you were saying that in one of the final quotes, it's a very exciting time, I think, that we are living.
Yes. Yeah, again, I apologize for the first half. I was a bit nervous by the guy drawing, but I can give a better talk at another occasion. Okay. Yes, what Michael Rabin was saying is that computer science is a young science, and we are seeing very important results happening in the front of our eyes. But another thing is we have to be very cautious. 20 years ago, okay, if you went to a machine learning conference, people were saying, okay, don't use neural networks anymore. They're out of fashion, they're not good. Okay, that's 20 years ago. And what happened was, in the end of the day, everyone who was saying that neural networks didn't work, they are now everyone is using neural networks now. So you have to always be very cautious in science. Don't say, well, logic's too complex, not going to work. Well, we don't know. We don't know.
Right. I guess fads
That's not
and
scientific.
trends.
I guess if you're saying, no, logic's too complex, it's not going to work. You're taking a scientific guess. It's not a scientific methodology to say that. Okay.
Right. So fads and trends are not good counselors, I guess, to scientists. That's a very good final conclusion, final thought is to finish the talk. So we have no more questions, I think. So thank you very much again, Luis, for accepting our invitation, and sorry for the trouble that we had, but I think we were able to deal with it.
No, thank you so much. Yeah, I got a bit nervous because of that, but
yeah, it hadn't happened to me
in a better way. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
bye.
bye. Thank you.